I want a renaissance to shine a light, be the change we want, set things right. We've been waiting in the dark for so long.
Hi there, my name's Heather Jones and this is the first of my Talk on Talk talks. What I'm going to be doing is talking about communication, particularly with people who have difficulties understanding or remembering what's been said. And I'm going to base the talks on conversations with my son, who suffers from severe speech and language impairments, and my father, who has just entered a stage of dementia in Alzheimer's. So what I wanted to talk about first, I thought I'd base it on the book that I've just written called Talk to Me, Conversation Strategies for Parents of Children on the Autism Spectrum or with Speech and Language Impairments. And it's all based on my work with my son, Jamie Bonetto.
Hi, my name's James.
So that's Jamie, and what I want to concentrate on is the conversation strategies. And the very first one is to get our kids realizing that there is such a thing as conversation. So what I started with, and I absolutely stumbled across, was I was in the car with him one day and I was just so sick of the silence, and I said, I just made a statement and I said, I was sick today, Jamie. And he said nothing, because our special kids don't realise that anything's required. If it's an instruction, they'll do it or they won't do it. If it's a question, they'll answer it or they won't answer it. But if it's a statement, there's nothing to say, nothing is required. And what I did was push it a bit further, just happened to do it, happened to say, Jamie, now it's your turn. And demanding that kind of response eventually elicited the response, because after a few goes of my saying, look, it's your turn, I've said something, now you say something, he said, did you eat something? And I said, no, I didn't eat anything. It wasn't my stomach that was bad. I had a headache. But that's brilliant. That's really, really good. So what I realized was that if we gave our kids clues as to what was required, particularly speech and language impaired children, because they have no idea about conversation, particularly children on the autism spectrum, which is what Jamie is too. Temple Grandin used to say, it's like you're playing a game of tennis, but you don't know the rules. You just don't know the rules of conversation. And that is a very basic one. I speak, you speak. And then from there, I discovered a lot of things about conversation and I made them clear to Jamie. You know, for example, body language. And when I came to collect him from a party, I said, I can tell you're really upset because your body language is very tight, your head is down, your shoulders are hunched. And of course I was doing all the actions all the time as I was saying it. So he learnt about body language, because I'd say, I can see you're really happy, you're smiling, your face is up, your hands are out and welcoming. And I went through various things that described it. So although the terms body language and conversation, you know, when he was 10 years old, his comprehension was about that of a 3-year-old or 4-year-old, and I thought maybe he just can't understand these words, but in context and used often enough, and discreetly enough, you know, not whacking them over the head with these terms, then it's worthwhile. So that's basically all I wanted to say in this first ToT, Talk on Talk, is that we have to get the conversation going, and the best way to do that is to talk about the conversation and use what theorists call meta conversation, meta language. Okay, thanks very much. See you next time.
I want a renaissance to shine a light, be the change we want. Set things right. We've been waiting in the dark for so long.